to it. And wouldn't you know it, of all things to start the night with a slip. Look, however, this is how we're going to do it. Good morning, good evening, and welcome. Apologize about the sound. My apologies. I'll make sure I'll work that out. Welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New-Eurekan Poets Cafe. I will be your host for the evening. I am Elemental. Happy Monday. This is the jump off, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. We do this every Monday. Can you believe we've been doing this for 165 weeks? 165. Come on, y'all. Really. We do this every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you'd like to join us in the Zoom, you're watching on one of these streams, the number is on your screen, 279-995-364. Believe me, it is a different world inside the Zoom. Truly, truly a different space. Come and join the community. We do this week after week thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills. All right, so we'd like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, the Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for hosting our free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by going to neweurekan.org/contribute or by hitting the Cash App at $ New-Eurekan Poets Cafe. Oh, hold on. What's going on, folks? Everybody good? Fantastic. All right. Make sure you are plugging in with the Super Tech, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. All right, for real. That dude does it all, man. Make sure you are following the squad. It's Ray Jane. We will talk about her in a minute. Paul Conqueso. Man, listen, the squad is heavy. Gonna do some big things coming very, very soon, y'all. Make sure you are plugging in, y'all. Man, so it's a lot coming. It's a lot coming, y'all. Tonight's theme. Look, I know this is a heavy one, right? But again, all of the things that we do, right? All the fun that we have writing poetry, it's for these types of poems, right? It's to pay honor and reverence to those who deserve all of these flashy, beautiful, emotional words that we're going to conjure this evening, right? People who made the ultimate sacrifice for us to enjoy these freedoms, right? What does sacrifice even mean, right? And why is it's important to achieving a goal, right? So But before we do that, before we move on really quick, I want to start the night before we move on with a quick moment of silence for all the fallen and all the families who mourn this today and all over the world. Please join me in a moment of silence. All right, y'all. Thank you so very much for observing that. Really, it makes a difference. I got the universe is in tune with us this evening. So let's get it going. All right. Next week's theme coming at y'all. Oh, listen. I know you might have heard the song, but here it comes. Bad Moonshine Rising, baby. Right? It's actually National Moonshine Day. So, and we're looking at the prohibition, right? So, man, you know what prohibition did, right? It gave birth to bootlegging, right? Organized crime, right? Gave birth to an ultimate power struggle that they're still telling stories about, right? Man, think about, what people will do to get their poison. If it's bathroom brew, whatever, right? People will get it. Moonshine, Bad Moonshine Rising, coming at y'all next week. Let's get it. All right, let's get to these rules so we can get to the poetry. Yeah, we got some here. Poets, turn your cameras on. If you, we're trying to simulate a live open mic as much as possible. Plus, we love to see all the beautiful expression that goes into your poetic delivery. All right. Plus, I love how to see how you freak out these backgrounds. So please turn your cameras on. As you're getting ready to rip, have your poem ready. All right. If you're going analog style, dog ear the page, have the file pulled up. If it's digital, if you're using music, which is totally cool, right? Make sure it is original. And Ron, correct me if I'm wrong, make sure your original sound is on if you're getting down with an instrument to make sure we hear both pieces. All right. Cool. Appreciate you, Ron. All right, poets, you got 3 minutes to rock. All right, you got a 30-second intro. Let folks know where they can find you, where they can connect with you, all the things that you do. Make sure you are also changing your Zoom name to coincide with how people can connect with you. All right. Really, folks, this is all about community, right? And our community continues to grow. So make sure you are connecting with the community. All right. 9:30 for the babies, folks. There are some explicit lyricists in our community, right? And some who write some very, very heartfelt and triggering flashbacks, all right? But the founders of our cafe were proponents of the freedom of speech, and we will make sure it continues to flow through every vein of what we do. Therefore, there is no censorship other than any hate speech or any ism that people may use, which will not be tolerated. There is no censorship. I'm telling you, thou hast been warned. Okay? Thou hast been warned. All right? This is a true call and response space. After the poets open up their hearts, open up their veins, and give you a part of their soul, you will see this pop up on your screen. This is when you get a chance to give all that energy back to the poet, right? Let the poets know, let the community know that you are in here to give that energy back. Don't worry about the noise, y'all. It's the rowdiest night of the night. Rowdiest night of the week anyway. So give it up for the poets. All right. This is what we do, y'all, for real. The list tonight is closed. Sign up begins 24 hours before the show, which is Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you go to newyourekan.org. You click on full events calendar. Click on the Monday that you want to perform on. You need an artist RSVP ticket to get on the guaranteed list. All right. These tickets will not even populate until 24 hours before the show. All right. So make sure you're plugging in to get your spot. Also going on in the brick and mortar, Slam with the B, more to come. Woo. Also, the Monday night with Soul Preem. Also, Wednesday with J Rose, of course, the resident Thunder Lung Thursdays, Guitar Thursdays. You know how that goes down. Friday night with Jive. Also, late night with Chevette. You know how it goes, y'all. It goes all the way down. Tonight's list. Oh my goodness, would you look at this beautiful list of incredible poets ready to get down this evening? So let's get to it. There's all my rowdy friends here on Monday night. Woo! Oh my goodness, I'm telling y'all, this is the best night of the week. If anyone told you different, they've been lying to you for a while. For real. All right, posting the list in the chat. Let's get to it. Starting us off this evening is the one and only Count of Contact. This dapper gent continues to come with all the energy to set it off as only DG Clearing can. The one and only in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, DG. Always great to see you. Set it off.
Elemental, it is so good to be here. Today is a day of remembrance. It doesn't make any difference where I am. Thank you for your service, Elemental, and all those others who have served. And please remember all that have fallen. I have one poem for you tonight. On a bed of needles, lying on the ground, on a bed of needles, perched under a big pine tree, deep within the sanctuary of the forest. A lone dove lands and rests, cooing in peace. As I read the banned book by Amanda Gorman, A Hill We Climb. Little by little, all the things that the founders and the defenders of our democracy have fought and died for are used for the kindling on the bonfire of lost rights. As the pages turn, as the pages burn, I memorize their words so they will never be forgotten. I am so sorry. I'm going to go back. I normally don't do this. So, on a bed of needles, lying on the ground on a bed of needles, perched under a big pine tree, deep within the sanctuary of the forest. A lone dove lands and rests, cooing in peace as I read the banned book by Amanda Gorman, A Hill We Climb. Little by little, all the things that the founders and defenders of our democracy have fought and died for are used for the kindling on the bonfire of lost rights. As the pages burn, I memorize their words so they will never be lost. As the banned books are consumed by the flames of censorship and suppression. Today is Memorial Day, a day to remember and give thanks to the fallen. All those that have given their lives to defend and protect your rights so that you don't have to hide in the sanctuary of the forest to read a book.
Oh my goodness, DG. That's
remembrance to the fallen.
Unmute yourself, give it up for DG Clearing.
It's powerful, DG.
And it was worth it.
Yeah.
All the way through.
Strong beginning tonight.
Thank you.
Thank
We could depend on you.
It's right at my heart. So, I just had a major figure in Wisconsin poetry try to suppress my poems. So it's right to my heart. So.
Ooh.
Listen.
Man.
Thank you, DG, for sharing that with us. Censorship is a beast, right? And I think every night that we gather here, we we claw at it just as much as it's clawing at us, right? We continue to write things that they hope to censor, and we're not going to stop, right? The moment that they try, and clearly they have banned a poet. Oh, I wonder why. I'm not listen, people know me, I'm a revolutionist, right? But when they start coming for us, it's a problem, y'all. It's a problem. All right. Not saying that anything else isn't a problem with what's going on, but listen, they're coming for the truth. And we have to make sure it stops somewhere. So I implore you to keep writing, all of you. Thank you, DG. And anyone who tries to repress you, don't worry. Bring it here and we'll broadcast it live. Thank you for being a valued member of our community. All right. Coming up next, our resident blacksmith, our legend. This guy, again, pen stays so daggone sharp, man. The one and only Michael Sindler is in the building, y'all. Unmute yourself, sir. Great to see you. Please take it away.
Okay. I really just can't imagine a better start than that, DG. Just thank you so much for that. And I just want to agree with you there. We should take the time to honor those who gave all and never came back. It's great to celebrate veterans, but you know, this is also incredibly important. I am going to just real quickly, you know, I always put up lighthousewriters.org, and it's great to do that. But, man, it's like just a couple days ago, or yesterday, actually, in the Ukraine, the Russians actually bombed a hospital. So, you know, things are all, you know, we talk about the trouble with war and all that. So I just put up a little thing for World Central Kitchen there. If anybody maybe wants to go ahead and send a little to help out. I just thought that was appropriate for today. I'm going to read a real short one of mine that's just new, and then read one other thing. It's called Wine Within. You are the wine within the glass, subtle signature, unmistakable essence, sweet with one sip, bitter the next, intoxicating enigma, ineffable and unpredictable, leaving want as an aftertaste. And I want to read a poem by someone who's best known for a big old novel, Herman Melville. And this is called Shiloh, a Requiem. Skimming lightly, wheeling still, the swallows fly low over the field in clouded days, the forest field of Shiloh, over the field where April rain solaced the parched one stretched in pain through the pause of night that followed the Sunday fight around the church of Shiloh. The church so lone, the log-built one, that echoed to many a parting groan and natural prayer of dying foemen mingled there. Foemen at morn, but friends at eve, fame or country least their care. What like a bullet can undeceive? But now they lie low, while over them the swallows skim, and all is hushed at Shiloh. Okay. Thank y'all very much.
Goodness. They in that just like with a whisper almost. Whew. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Michael Sindler.
Yeah,
Michael.
A powerful
Yeah,
poem.
Michael.
Yes, Michael.
Yeah.
Sindler, Michael.
listen, again, it's just, no matter, if he's, taking his time to help people in a whole nother part of the world, right? Or, giving us a very beautiful condensed version of a Melville piece. It's just, what he does is always this. We are always thankful that you come through and share your incredible work with us, Michael Sindler. Truly appreciate you. All right, coming up next. Haven't seen this cat in a while, but I am glad that he's back. The one and only Alexander Goldberg is in the building, y'all. Unmute yourself, Goldberg. Let the folks know where they can find you online, man. Great to see you. Take it away.
Great to see you too, Elemen2al. Find me online, Gorbetsky on Instagram, Alexander Goldberg 35 on Facebook. And I just wanted to thank Michael Sindler for mentioning the bombed hospital in Ukraine and giving that link. That is very important to remember. And it's been 460 days since the start of the heroic resistance of Ukraine against the Russian aggressor. And it is a fight for freedom and for justice. And as I always like to say, glory to Ukraine, to all its heroes and allies. The title of my poem is Let's Light the Candles. Let's light the candles, my dear friends. Let people see them. For those who sacrifice their lives defending freedom. Let's light the candles for civilians and soldiers, all of the children, and of course, all of the grown-ups. Let's light the candles and let's give deserving honors, and let's give thanks for sacrifice and for their service. Those who fulfill their duties, each and every person, just know that we will win. There is no other option. Those who provide the aid, conduct investigations, who use preventive measures, serve army collectives. Those who courageously defend our land and cities. All those alive and those who are no longer with us. To all of those fighting for peace, maintaining order. Thanks to them, victory will come. War will be over. To those who lost their lives performing combat missions, we'll keep your memory alive, achieve your vision. If we survive, then there is nothing we can handle. Let's light the candles, my dear friends. Let's light the candles.
Let's light the candles indeed. Unmute yourself. Give it up for the Goldberg.
Alexander,
Alexander.
You are that
Good
lit
work.
candle.
Slava Ukraine.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm lighting one.
he said.
Thank you, Alexander.
Wow. Wow. Listen, thank you, Goldberg, for coming through and sharing such a beautiful perspective, right? A lot of times when we think about war, our first instinct may be aggression, right? You want to counter. But he said, let's light the candle, right? Light the candles. Let people see them, right? Not just, hide them in silence. Like, let people see them. Let people see what is actually going on, right? War is hell. It is. Let people see what is happening. Thank you. Thank you, Goldberg. It's heavy, y'all. It's heavy. But again, we wouldn't be here without these folks and all these sacrifices, all of it, right? So yeah, it's gonna be heavy. But again, this is why we're here. This is the work. All right. Coming up next. Here he comes. It is time for our TES Talk, y'all. The one and only Mr. Tesla Somok is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, sir. Always great to see you. Take it away.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. I know everyone could be out having fun, so we're having fun here. Folks can catch me on Instagram under Gashes2019. I've got a lot to say. I'm going to jump right into another episode of Time Tacos. This episode is titled The Taco Wars. Skippy and Tito sit at a picnic table outside King Taco, eagerly awaiting their orders. The air is filled with the aroma of sizzling meats, acrid toasted chiles, and the tantalizing lime scent of freshly made tortillas. Skippy excitedly, Tito, my cuate, I can already taste the deliciousness that awaits us. Nothing beats the classic carne asada taco, the tender, juicy meat, marinated to perfection, seasoned with Lori salt, lime juice, oregano, garlic, cebolla, hojas de laurel, cumin, just the right blend of tomillo, thyme. It's a flavor explosion in every bite. Tito raising an eyebrow. Oh, Skippy, my friend. While I appreciate your love for carne asada, for me, it's all about the El Pastor taco, the succulent marinated pork with achiote from our Mayan ancestors, the toasted Californian Japonés chiles colorados, the usual assortment of spices, slowly roasted on the trompo, the vertical spit, the crispy edges, the caramelized pineapple. It's a margarita bill fiesta in my mouth. Skippy grinning. A fiesta, you say? Well, Tito, you clearly haven't experienced the sheer ecstasy of grilled chicken tacos, the smoky, charred flavor combined with a zesty salsa verde de tomatillo and sprinkle of fresh cilantro. It's a taste to transport me to taco paradise. Tito mocking, I'm losing my place here, sorry. Tito mocking, taco paradise? Huh, Skippy, you must be delusional. The sheer perfection of a fish taco is unmatched. The delicate, flaky tilapia fish, slightly grilled to a golden crisp, topped with a tangy crema and a burst of lime. It's like Puerto Vallarta coastal vacation for my taste buds. Skippy leaning in mockingly. Coastal vacation? What, we're in Istele, fool? Well, my friend, prepare to have your mind blown by my majestic glory of shrimp taco, plump, succulent shrimp sauteed sauteed to perfection in a garlic butter sauce, topped with fresh avocado, a squeeze of lime, and sprinkle of crunchy cabbage. It's like a flavor fiesta on a tortilla. Remember, camarón que se duerme se lo lleva la corriente. Shrimp that falls asleep on the current gets swept away, and the LA River has dragged you out. Tito raising an eyebrow. Oh, a flavor fiesta, you say? Skippy, I'll take you on a journey to the land of the lengua taco, the tender, slow-cooked beef tongue, perfectly seasoned and nestled in a warm tortilla. It's an adventure for adventurers, a delight for the daring. It will have you speaking in lenguas. Skippy, mockingly, oh, Tito, Dora the Explorer. Well, get ready for a taste explosion with the chorizo taco, spicy, smoky sauce sizzling on the grill. The aroma alone is enough to make your taste buds tango. Top it off with caramelized onions and a drizzle of fiery salsa roja, and you got a dance party in your mouth. Tito laughing. A dance party, Skippy? Well, it seems we'll have to dance out our taste buds to determine the ultimate taco champion. But one thing's for sure, my friend. They both lean, grinning mischievously, Skippy and Tito in unison. It's a delicious battle we're more than willing to wage. They burst into laughter, enjoying their playful banter as they eagerly await their tacos, their friendship united, their shared love for the diverse, delectable world of tacos. Just as they were to dig into their tacos, Mago Pachuco drives up before them. Again, his flashy suit and fedora, as sharp as ever. Hey, you two, I see you porking out, he said with a grin. Yeah, Skippy said. Mago chuckled. Have you guys thought about the Caracola coins, my friends? But listen, there's something important you need to know about using them. He leaned in close and whispered, to travel through time, you have to use the jukebox at King Taco and select the song Pachuco Suave by Lalo Guerrero. That will activate the time travel sombrero, you know, where they make the tacos mechanism and take you to the time period of your coin. Skippy and Tito exchanged a skeptical glance. King Taco? Pachuco Suave? That sounds like bullshit, Tito said. Mago shrugged. Believe what you want, compadres, but if you want the time travel, that's what you gotta do. Mago Pachuco leaning out the window. To harness the power of the time travel coin, my compadres, you must use the jukebox, but not just any jukebox. The Rocola at King Taco holds the key to unlocking the time traveling sombrero to the time period of the coin. Skippy scratches his head looking doubtful. Skippy, wait, so you're saying we need to use a jukebox at this taco joint and play a Lalo Guerrero's Pachuco Suave to travel through time? Mago Pachuco grinned mischievously. Precisely, mi amigo, it's the rhythm of the Pachuco, the essence of the past and future intertwining. Once the song begins, you shall descend into the taco sombrero, a mystical portal that will transport you to a time period of the coin. Tito glances at Skippy, uncertainty evident in his eyes. Tito, but how do you come back? Mago Pachuco taps a small pocket watch in his hand. Fear not, young travelers. To return, you must seek out a famous Roman flutist. Convince him to play the Pachuco song and pay him with a coin from your time period. You'll activate the taco sombrero to bring you back. And I'll stop here and we'll continue on another occasion.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I couldn't wait for my next time tacos. Unmute yourself, give it up for Mr. Tezasomo.
And you
Much
just got
fun.
a
Thank you.
Tez,
just can
Yeah,
be.
Tez.
incredible.
Wow, Tez.
You are such a damn good storyteller.
Ooh.
Thank you so much.
Okay, DG, for real, for real. Look, I don't know if we just kind of happenstance stepped into like an Iron Chef kind of clash, right? But I don't know, man. Like Mr. Tez serving up some tasty ass time tacos, and I'm sure Generalissimo is gonna come with something. Maybe not today, but he usually does. Listen, them time tacos is on point. And listen, let me just say, the way that you described that, all right, you could put that on anything. Right? With the avocado and the lime and the cilantro and squeeze it, man. You can put that on cardboard in the tortilla and it will go hard. Trust and believe, man. Woo! I truly appreciate what you do, Mr. Ted. Like the community said, you are such a great storyteller, right? Taste to transport me to taco paradise. Listen, I'm sure it's lots of people in taco paradise. All right. Say you have you speaking in linguist. Listen. Gotta be careful with that food, man. Hey, you're talking tongues, boy. Woo-wee. Woo-hoo. Good food to do that to you, though, man. Really. Appreciate you, Mr. Tez, always for coming through with such incredible stories. Man, so much. I implore all y'all to go back and pick up some of the pieces. Listen, it is incredible. All right. Coming up next, the Jedi Master is in the building. The true OG of this thing, man. Listen, if I get a chance to run across this cat, it will be a blessing, for real. The one and only Paul Skiff is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, OG. Great to see you. Take it away.
Hey, hi, everybody. Thanks again, Elemental and RMT for keeping the electricity flowing. I put some information in the chat for what's going to happen here. First, I want to make an objective observation. I think I see about 4 women here tonight. So, that's on us. We got to make sure this is a place where more women want to come consistently. I don't know why that's happened this week, because in the past, this place has been very well, the proportion has been pretty even, but to have something like 10.2% women here, we need to do better. That aside, I don't have anything positive or laudatory to say for Memorial Day. I read my Memorial Day poem here for the past 2 years, and I know from doing that, it will drag some of the people here down. So knowing some of you as I do after 2 years, I don't want to do that again. So yes, let's focus on this being a time to cherish the people who put themselves on the line and who have done that through history for us. And I'm not saying for the nation state. Let's focus on this being a time to cherish the blood of all those who've been forced to lose it by the state and all nation states who force people to bleed out and have their guts opened up just to stand as symbols of the state's power to enforce sacrifice, as though that is what human beings should be doing to each other for any reason. I do not memorialize sacrifice. I mourn all who've been forced to bleed out and have their guts opened up by the nation state and all other nation states. I mourn for all of those who have been damaged in spirit, mind, and body, who now must struggle with what legacy of harm that is. I revile that character of all nation states that want to try and get us to act out phony political holiness in the state's name. The state can go to the political stupidity sewer whose main dimension is death. Anytime you see a lot of deaths, that is an unmistakable, sure sign of political stupidity. So yes, I praise and cherish and give unending thanks to anybody who's put their life on the line. And I mourn all of those who've had their guts opened up to stand as a symbol of the state's power to enforce sacrifice. The state should be required to bleed out and have its own guts opened up and see how it likes it. Pardon me if I find that part of Memorial Day just a plain obscenity. And here's who I kind of want to remember today. The Americans whose lives were eradicated. The land on which I am present here, the land which I live and join you from now in the present day United States, belongs to Native peoples who have sacrificed connections to it and who have stewarded the lands sustainably for thousands of years before the arrival of white settlers. I acknowledge the long history and effects of settler colonialism that resulted in genocide, forced removal and relocation, fractured connections to sacred homelands, as well as lost stories, relations, languages, ways of life, and other personal and cultural attributes. I recognize the ongoing inequities that exist today from this ongoing legacy in this society. I acknowledge that many of us continue to benefit from this legacy. I challenge everyone who are guests on this land to use their privileges to support the indigenous peoples and organizations. I encourage engagement with the history of this land, its native owners and indigenous people. I honor the resilience and contemporary conditions and practices of the indigenous people still here today. As a non-native guest and creator, I live and work on the ancestral land of the Munsee Lenape and the Waquasqueak band of the Wappinger tribes, who are now dispersed through the land and in Canada. The Lenape diaspora includes 5 federally recognized nations in Oklahoma, Wisconsin, and Ontario, as well as many descendants are still living on and stewarding the land here in Manhattan with resilience and generosity. I offer my deep gratitude for the ways in which the land of this region and its history, as well as indigenous ways of knowing and relating to the human and more than human world, inform the environment I live in. This place where I am right now was originally named Manhattan, Hilly Island, also the place of gathering wood to make bows, because of the grove of hickory trees at the south end of the island. This place, and I like this very much, this place was also known as the island where we all became intoxicated. So even before the white colonizers, Manhattan was known as a place for relaxation and enjoyment. I am grateful to acknowledge that I continued this indigenous tradition on this land. Thanks, everybody. I do have an extended set this Friday, June 2nd at Open Minds. I put the information in the chat.
Damn. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Paul Skip.
Thank you, Paul. That was really
Such a
great.
perfect
Yes,
line
Paul.
there. That was such a great
What
balance.
history
Jedi Master.
land.
Jedi
Thank you. Yes.
That's why we love you, Paul.
you,
You
Paul.
are not holding back, and you told us exactly what we needed to hear or know. Thank you, Paul, for being, honest and powerful. This is why Elemental says no censorship. I love it.
Man, for real. Okay. Real quick, Jedi Master, I'm coming right back at you because you said something today that I wasn't sure if anyone else would see, but I noticed it and I went back to last week to make sure I saw it correctly. You mentioned the number of folks in here this evening compared to last week. Could you please reiterate that?
Yeah, I just noticed we didn't have as large attendance by women writers here this evening as there has been traditionally, consistently. And I don't know what's the cause of that. But I always get concerned about that condition when there starts to become an imbalance in the kind of diversity that I know everybody here is extremely committed to. And one of the biggest reasons each of you come here is because we get to be together here. And I don't want to see that trend continue. So I think it's on everybody here to do what we can to keep encouraging this place to be as open and welcoming and supportive and affirming place as possible, so that for whatever reason, individuals don't start feeling like it's a difficult place for them to be present at. So that's all I have to say. I think it's these things go on for it's not a constructed program of exclusion. Everybody knows that at this place. That goes without saying. So Allen Ginsberg didn't say the New Eurekan Poets Cafe is the most integrated place on earth because he was hallucinating. So I hope we don't have to hallucinate that to make it true.
Absolutely not, Jedi Master. Thank you for sharing that with us. Truly, truly. Listen, I recognize that, right? And I am going to do what I can to make sure that, listen, our community continues to grow in every single direction, all right? We are welcoming to every single person under this sun who needs a community to find themselves in. If you're looking for a weirdo corner, we are it. So we need to do better about making sure that everyone in the world knows that this is the greatest community in the world. Everyone. All right. Thank you, Jedi Master. I mean, so much of what he said, remembrance of lost stories and languages and ways of life, right? Non-native guests. Are we not all non-native guests, right? But it's strange to me that the main guest doesn't have a hyphen, but everyone else does. Thank you, Mr. Skip, for putting us on notice that the truth is still pumping very, very hard and loud. All right, real quick, before I move on, shout out a couple folks. I did see Deadpan Lizzie in the building, our usual leadoff hitter. Appreciate you for being in the building. Doug Silver in the building. Professor Platinum, always great to see you. Marsha Rivera is in the building. Miss Brimlow herself is in the building. Appreciate you. Odin versus Loki. Saw them sneak in the room. Also, always appreciate your energy being in here. Shatina, appreciate you for being here and sharing this evening with us. All right. Coming up next, Mr. Gusto himself. Listen, another reason why I truly love our community. This poet came at me earlier and said, hey, you know what? In honor of Memorial Day, if there is someone who wanted to, have my spot and get down, I would be more than happy to pleasant gesture my spot forward. And that is why our community continues to grow, right? Because we continue to make room for each other. So we're gonna let you rip, Gustav, as you're supposed to. All right, the one and only Magus is in the building, y'all. Gustav Salas, come on, Gustav, do what you do, man. Take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. Greetings, beloved poets. This is Memorial Day. Memorial Day serves to remind Americans that we have always prevailed over fascism and dictatorship at great cost. Today, we remember the fight for freedom and all the lives lost. Never forget that your right to vote was secured at great sacrifice by soldiers willing to pay the ultimate price. So vote for your freedom as our troops have fought for it. Vote for equality we will not forfeit. For our dreams of a more perfect union to be realized, love, tolerance, liberty, and your ballot must be prized. Soldiers died for the country's freedoms. Do you care? Memorial Day honors their sacrifice. We must share. And this next piece is something I've never done here before. I'm going to sing a cover song. This is Love Vigilantes by New Order. Oh, I've just come from the land of the sun, from a war that must be won in the name of truth. With our soldiers so brave, your freedom we will save. With our rifles and grenades and some help from God. I want to see my family, my wife and child waiting for me. I've got to go home. I've been so alone, you see. Oh, you just can't believe the joy I did receive when I finally got my leave and I was going home. Oh, I flew through the sky. My convictions could not lie. For my country, I would die, and I will see it soon. I want to see my family, my wife and child waiting for me. I've got to go home. I've been so alone, you see. When I walked through the door, my wife, she lay upon the floor, and with tears her eyes were sore. I did not know why. Then I looked into her hand, and I saw the telegram that said that I was a brave, brave man, but that I was dead. I want to see my family, my wife and child waiting for me. I've got to go home. I've been so alone, you see. Thank you.
Damn. I thought you said you were going to sing a song, not sing a poem. But hey, it works too. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Gustav Salas.
Hey, man.
It's always good to hear you.
Because they didn't have Ian Curtis didn't mean they weren't still poetic.
Gustav.
Yeah, that was great.
Wonderful, Gustav.
Exactly. Listen, this is what I'm saying, right? I don't really know songwriters that aren't poets in some way, shape, or form, right? So you say you're singing a song, again, you're singing a poem, right? And this is what we do, right? Poems manifest in so many different ways. And sometimes they have so much energy that you can't just say them. You have to sing them. Totally beautiful. Thank you, Gustav, for sharing that with us. That is something that I think everybody's going to remember for a while. So I don't know if you should have did that. We're going to remember that for a while. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. Like, man, I didn't know we had our own version of Johnny Cash up in here too, but damn, Gustav, appreciate you, man, really. All right, coming up next, our resident fireman, ready to set blaze to his screen. As always, only listen, look, Poet Talk get me poetastic, always got me tongue and split. And listen, come on, man. You know what it is. The one and only Eddie Foreman is in the building. Unmute yourself, man. Let the folks know where they can find you, Eddie. Do what you do, man. Take it away.
Thank you, my brother, like one another with words like thunder. Woo! A salute to the troops because your dedication has no substitute. Happy Memorial Day. Hope everyone enjoy my wordplay. This is called The Bullets of War. I have a bullet for your name. My heart yearns for your demise. You're to blame for my flame. I'm going to kill you down to size. Why do I mercilessly hate you? It's because you're my enemy. It's foggy hate, no clear views. My dark rays had no sympathy. I slowly reload my steel gun. My fingers cover in angry bees. My shadow covers the sun. Run, run, run away, please. There goes one of your eyes. You loudly blared why. You fall, but your blood rise. You kept going. I whip with a sigh. There goes one of your arms. You're my prey, but please go far away. You're disarmed, but I still mean you harm. What can I say that went underway? There goes one of your legs. The pain must be unbearable. It sounds like cracked eggs. What happened next is unconceivable. There goes your head. I forgot what you said. Oh, right. I hope you eat lead. The cold grounds your bed. The roses ooze and spread. There goes one of your hands. You were just a man. I feel you, but I try not to understand. Now your name is buried in dirt and sand. An image of a crying phantom, my body icy as steel. You can't find an inner sanctum. There's no peace for your ordeals without rest or heal. I hear crowds in my head. I wish it was me instead of you. I literally dread the future up ahead. What can I do or hope to do? There are no winners in wars, more losses and no gains. There are no restorations or scores. Please, no more pain or life's remains. Do I really need to explain? Thank you.
Ooh, listen, that line hit hard, man. There are no winners of war. Unmute yourself. Give it up for
Great
Eddie
job,
Foreman.
man.
Yes,
That was
Eddie.
great, Eddie.
Great job.
Yeah,
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
good.
Ha
so appreciate it. Thank you, Eddie.
Say it again.
Nothing.
Yeah. Look, that music started flowing. Everybody get in there, right? Oh my gosh. Listen, as soon as that tone got to everybody, that smile got huge. I love that. I love how much poetry and music connects us all. Does not matter what dialect, what language, how much we speak language, how many words we know. Music unites us all, man. For real. And of course, I'm biased, but you know who writes the best songs? Poets. Of course. Of course. Coming up next. This incredible poet, I had the pleasure of hanging out in his space, the Inspired Poetry Corner, this weekend, where he featured another one of our community members, one of the storm gods, Zon Conto. This gentleman, look, I've ran across lots of poets in our community, but this one, he again, he would probably be, a professor's professor, really. And the way he loves our craft is incredible. The one and only Raul James is in the building, y'all. Unmute yourself. It's always great to see you. Please take it away.
Element family, good to see you all. Glad to see you guys all still striving and flowing it with the experiences of life. I want to say to an ancestor that served in the Great War, to my brother who flew Blackhawks, my uncle who was a paratrooper, and to our host, for anyone that ever puts on a uniform, as much as I wish we don't have wars. I'm with Paul. I don't believe in sacrifice because today is another celebration of war. Here in Canada, our Memorial Day is in November, called Remembrance Day. And we always say, lest we forget. But we keep forgetting because we've been fighting wars for centuries now. 4 centuries. This is not new. It's not just the Europeans, it's humanity. But I'm old school in a sense. If you put on a uniform, and whether it's courage or foolishness, you chose to serve, and that I honor. I honor those that have fallen so I could be here today. So that's what I pay homage to, because for me today is just another celebration of war. And it's always been about those who have power versus those that don't. And unfortunately, it seems like it will continue that way. And it's time for people to realize and wake up. This is what this has always been about. It's about power. And power is a word that we fear, we don't want to understand. But it's about power, and the ones that have it really understand it. So I invite you to really understand power, because that's what it's always been about. And it's time for us sheep to wake up. America is built as a republic. She's not a democracy. She's a republic. Therefore, the power lies with the people. And even the elite are part of the people. And if there's more of the sheep than the elite, then it's time for the sheep to wake up and recognize their power and the brilliance of the republic, because the republic relies on the people. So I offer this piece called We Fight for Peace. We fight for peace with trapped minds, guarded hearts, conditioned love, belligerent thoughts, inhumane behaviors, trade embargoes, unauthorized wars, one-sided laws, greed as right, eroding soil, polluted air, bloated bellies, thirst unquenched, homelessness, arrogant doctrines, suppressed rights, judgment in our blood, civil unrest, moral good, civilized torture, as we ride the roller coaster of insanity, singing our polite phrases with guns, bullets, and bombs. Peace, peace, peace. I want me some peace. We fight for peace. What an oxymoron. Peace conjures up images of open space, beautiful silence. Peace is the laughter of children, embracing life's diversity. The gentle sway of wind-blown trees. Peace is the air we breathe, the water we drink, the earth we walk. We fight for peace. Enough fighting. Shift for peace. Unleash our human splendor. Live for peace. Like Sitting Bull and Claudette Colvin, Martin Luther King Jr., Mahatma Gandhi, Stephen Biko, Nelson Mandela, Desmond Tutu. No guns, bullets, bombs. I lay down my arms to rest within life's grace, for we are one. Peace is me, peace is you, peace is us. Peace, peace, peace. I want me some peace. End of poem. Blessings, family.
I told y'all. I told y'all. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Roll Jones.
Yeah. So great, Raul.
Typically fantastic.
Yeah, that was great, bro.
Right here.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
thank you so much.
Love
It's
you.
so glad that you're here today.
Oh, listen, it's so necessary to let your true emotions flow. I know we do our best to do it in poems, right? And all of you are masters at doing this. Each and every one of you could hold your own master class. But to be able to do that and say what you're going to say and truly, truly come from the heart, it's so hard not to be poetic. Like, you know what I mean? Had you not said the poem was starting, we would have thought the poem started when you started talking. But I just appreciate how much you show reverence to what you do, right? That connotation I'd never heard before. Real quick, to everyone who's, you know, thanking me for my service, I truly appreciate y'all, really. This is how very easily every single veteran could be in one of these spaces, right? So thank all of y'all for taking the time to keep these people in mind, these freedom fighters in mind on these days, right? And how you said that, Raul, that's gonna be tickling the back of my brain for a while. You said, today is another celebration of war. Damn it. Damn it. Thank you. Thank you, Raul. I appreciate you for coming through. Make sure y'all plugging in. His space is very, very intimate, but is very, very powerful. Has some real powerful folks coming through there. Thank you. Coming up next, a newer member of our community has come in and continues to show up and show out week after week. Again, Flo locked in, the one and only Undetermined Cause in the building, y'all. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
Oh my goodness. Can you hear me? I'm laughing because it's pouring and it's thundering and lightning its ass off outside. Okay, so let me just say one thing. So I live like 10, okay, my dog is scared too. All right, I live like 10 minutes from Norfolk, so I should totally have something like on theme, but I don't. I'm sorry. I live like in a military town and I should totally feel like connected, but I just not tonight. So I'm writing on a prompt called From Alt Poetry, which is overdosing on poetry. When the words come out of me as it, sorry, let me try this again. When the words come out as expressions of me, addicted and overdosing on poetry, my eyes are dilated and I can't see, quickly claiming my identity. Honestly, it's the words, accents, and adverbs. I'm completely submerged. Please do not disturb in my thoughts and fantasies, deep in ecstasies, creating imageries, designing ecstasies, coursing through my veins, disguising growing pains, writing refrains, sweating ink stains, skin and bones losing weight, bent on getting lines straight, trying to connect and relate, incoherent, I perpetuate, depending on the high, trying to silence the cry, lost staring at the sky, I guess I'll give it one more try, anticipating and rearranging, quietly engaging, inner demons ranging, another dollar, cheap waging, circulation tied off, emotional face off, imitation knock off, internally the voices scoff, and yet I hear the silent call, ready to give it all, bartender, last call, already in withdrawal, extensions still paid late, hallucinations exaggerate, in another inebriated state, too late to rehabilitate, spinning my tips and stacks between my knuckles, needle tracks, craving the pending impact, diction to distract, shaking for the next, dependent and perplexed, can't sit back or relax, PTSD flashbacks. So one last hit, one more rhyme to spit, one final trip. I swear, this is it.
So you see how the weather holds up just long enough for you to rip. Unmute yourself, give it up for Undetermined Cause.
Thank you for coming, Undetermined. It's great to hear
You are
you.
your own storm, so that's probably why mother there. So, nice poem. Thank you.
So I could have swore when you started, you said you weren't on theme. But that sure kind of coincided. And listen, I know some brothers at arms that listen. You start talking about that bar and where they were born and all. Listen, it ties, okay? It ties. So thank you for sweating ink stains. That was hot. All right. Listen, even if you do have to go into that emotional face-off, right? Ready to give it all. I'm telling you, this is the life of people who sacrifice. Doesn't necessarily have to be in a military standpoint. Today we're talking about Memorial Day, but that sacrifice still stays the same. Appreciate you for coming through and sharing your energy with us. All right. Coming up next. You know what? I had to make sure this is the curator of a brand new space that is about to drop in a few weeks. Yes? Listen, this poet has come into our community, brought it all the heat all the way from the West Coast. The one and only Bianca is in the building. Make sure you tell these folks about what's going on. Really great to see you. Take it away.
Thank you so much. I finally got to do an Elemen2al open mic, which is great because I always work on Monday, so I'm so glad we lined up and the universe let me be a part of this. My Patreon is coming, the Dope Poet Society. It premieres June 17th. I can't wait. And I wanted to tell you, Elemen2al, I joined my first slam last night and I won. And I had to do it, and you know, it was actually sent to me, so I never thought in a million years I would compete. I competed, and I won. So blessings. You know, you saw me be a baby poet and now I'm starting to blossom into things, so I had to share that with you, brother. So with tonight's theme, you mentioned sacrifice, and I had to talk about the school to prison pipeline and the sacrificial scholars that are just always misled and becoming statistics in our society. So this one's called Higher Ed. Hello, class. My name is Miss B. Miss as in misconstrued and misunderstood. B as in benevolent citizens despite of racial injustices towards brown and black communities. Now, as a sacrificial scholar, I'm going to tell you 10 things I've noticed as a product of the public school system. Number one, there's a difference between a teacher and an educator. Number two, a teacher expects students to learn through them, while an educator is a student that learns with them and about them. Number three, always being warned by people, the higher you go, the harder it gets. Well, that explains why the honor roll smells like weed, and the only thing that's making sure you're not the only generation that gets an education in an institution that only cares if you fit their brochure. Number four, anything less than a third grade teacher isn't really a teacher, because apparently fundamentals and milestones aren't big deals. Well, that explains why 1 in 20 teachers suffer from a mental health disorder, and it's usually PTSD, but let's detach from that because benchmark exams and teacher evaluations are more valid than the diagnosis. Number five, remember to color inside the lines, constantly being reminded that lines will always be necessary, as if they're prepping you for something more concrete. Number six, they don't tell you about hidden curriculum because they'd rather show you through deprivation of hierarchy of needs, but that sounds a bit harsh. So we'll raise our hand instead and ask if now is the right time to use a bathroom break and to tend to ourselves responsibly. Number seven, excelling at school became more of a punishment than an accolade. Number eight, it's okay to be smarter, but not smarter than the average, because that generates extra work for one student and not enough push for the other students. So when parent-teacher conferences come around, the only thing we'll talk about is how much of a distraction I'm being. Number nine, speaking another language other than English and possibly needing ESL as a scare tactic that if you can't assimilate by a certain grade level, you're dumb. Number 10, when the minority student body becomes the majority student body filled with dreamers, intellects, and soldiers, that's when they realize the skin that wraps your knowledge like a warm hug from your ancestors is the real American dream. Thank you.
You better say that shit. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Bianca.
Wow.
That's great.
There we go.
It's so important, and you
Bianca,
said it so beautifully.
powerful
Schools have
poem.
always
Thank you.
been an
So good for the team.
indoctrination camp.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
well,
yay.
well captured.
3 points there.
Well
Great.
captured. Well done. I can see why you won.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously.
Exactly. And
Yeah, real quick,
congratulations.
before y'all go back mute, give it up for the slam winner, the one and only
Yes,
Bianca.
congratulations.
Come on.
Congratulations.
Nice, nice.
Come on.
How wonderful.
Come on.
They chose
Listen,
well.
Listen, appreciate y'all for that. Listen, everybody can't make that claim that they come out of the gate winning. They can't. Everybody cannot just step on a slam stage and come on with a win. That is a feat indeed. We have all seen you come from a beginning poet to now a slam winner, and you're only going to grow further and further and further, and we are going to be along for the ride with you, help you growing along the way. Make sure you are plugging into the Dope Poet Society. It's coming soon. Appreciate you, Bianca, truly. All right, before we move on, I am going to pass it to the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. You're not down with RMT by now, damn it. You should be. Ron, how you feeling this evening?
I'm feeling okay. Thank you so much, Elemental. What a great time to be here with everyone on Memorial Day. I'm going to quote DG Clearing, what he wrote earlier in the chat, wishing, everyone, a good Memorial Day in remembrance to all of those who have sacrificed their lives so that we can read our poetry tonight. So thank you, DJ. You hit the nail with this, so this is so important for all of us to be here. Powerful performances so far, Paul, DJ, everyone. I can't wait to hear, what everyone else brought. Hello, everyone. Most of you know me. I am Ron Mark Thompson. I am your tech assistant here in the background. I also work in the tech booth at the New York Poets Cafe in Manhattan, at many of the events that we have there. We had quite a few programs at inside the cafe in the last few days, and it was my honor to meet some of you there. Deadpan Lizzie, I know it's been a few weeks since we last saw each other. It was great to see you this weekend. Indigo Lee, Messiah Payne, it was just, such a beauty of, everyone to see you guys. Yesterday, Sunday, the New York Poets Cafe had a booth at the Lower Cider Festival on Avenue C, which is on the Lower East Side in Manhattan, literally just like 4 blocks from the New York Poets Cafe. Paul Skiff stopped by our table. Paul, it was so great to hug you, to talk to you. It was great to hear you today. I know we're going to see each other in a few weeks again. So Paul, you're amazing. Thank you for stopping by. Indigo, everyone else who made it, thank you. I'm going to give, most of you usually see my slides that I bring up. I'm going to give my slides a holiday as well. So, but I will remember everyone, because I did mention that to many of the community people that stopped by yesterday at the festival, to remind them what our programs are currently inside the New York Poets Cafe or online. We have 3 weekly on-site open mics, 2 weekly online open mics, one of them you are currently in, 3 weekly on-site poetry slam, a weekly Voices and Vibes karaoke/vocal open mic. We have once every month on the first Wednesday, Beatniks Online on the Women's Orators Wednesday. Usually it is hosted by La Brewer, but she is getting ready and rehearsing for her one-woman show. So next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, the Beatniks Online will be guest hosted by our Chief of Staff, Nico Diaz, and the Women's Orator Wednesday will be guest hosted by Felicia Kate. She runs the usual Wednesday open mic at 6 p.m., but she will be with us next week at 9 p.m. on Wednesday, June 7th. Also, we have monthly an ASL Slam, second Friday of the month. We have a dance music competition, Behind the Groove, which is the last Thursday of the month. We have a salsa jam every last Sunday of the month. We just had one yesterday. It was a packed house. It was wonderful. We also have poetry workshops, and started this weekend. We are now adding a monthly LGBTQIA plus open mic. This past Saturday, Nico Diaz hosted it. We're going to have our next one coming up on June 17th, which is a Saturday again in the cafe. And that one will be followed by a special show and presentation called Reconstructing Myself by Anthony Rodriguez. He actually was our featured performer at this past Saturday's LGBTQ plus open mic, and he just rocked the house. He was amazing. We also have special programs coming up. I want to remind everyone, next Thursday, June 8th at 8 p.m., our executive director, Caridad de la Luz, aka La Brua, will be bringing back her one-woman show from Puerto Rico to the New Regan Poets Cafe. We still have tickets available. You may purchase them. Also, Friday, June 24th, LUL Out, the variety show. That'll be the first time we're having this. For all of those programs, I'm like, Ron, this is just too much. Where do we find all of this information? Well, you may either go to newregan.org, our website, click on full events calendar, and for all the upcoming programs, you will see them listed on their date and time, and you may purchase tickets for them, just where you got your free artist RSVP ticket for attending the Monday night online open mic here today. And of course, follow us on social media. On Facebook and Twitter, we are at New Regan Poets, and on Instagram, YouTube, we are at New Regan Poets Cafe. So enough from me. Let's move on with the list, because again, it is a very powerful evening. I'm gonna unmute our friend from across the ocean, a lantern carrier. And Lantern, correct me, have I been correctly informed that you will be blessing us with a collaboration with you and Dee? Is that correct?
Indeed.
Okay, well then allow me to unmute Dee Allen as well, and I'm going to spotlight you both. That is really a treat, So guys, I'm looking forward to what you will bring. Dee, if you don't mind, turn on your camera so that we may see both of you. Because we want to make sure that both of you shine on the screen. So here we go. Okay, Dee, Lantern, let everyone know where we may follow you, either now or after your performance, and then let's hear what you brought. Everyone, Dee Allen and Lantern Carrier. Go ahead.
Great. Well, my info is already in the chat. I'm doing a collab with my very good friend, Dee Allen. And I will start. Memorial Day Reflections of an American Soldier. The struggle for survival has created painful scars on the red thread of our memories for eons. Dogs fight dogs for bone meaningful to them, while avarice continues to hide in plain sight, filling its coffers from various lands.
Stolen life, shattered trust, politics deliberated through lethal means, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Work, cash, global travel is what you'll find if you sign your name onto this document's line. Stolen life, shattered trust.
I look at mirrors woven in complacency, stained with my own ugliness. The self-created shadows that impair my judgments continue to dictate my own rationale in life's quest for meaning, for the elusive joyfulness of the soul.
Trained to raise a rifle, kill on command, wherever the hated adversary stands. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Sent abroad with soldiers by the score, house to house firefights, pawns for this government's war. Stolen life, shattered trust.
I hope that one day I can remove my mask, show you the real me, not the traumas I carry from numerous wars, some of which remain questionable, but the joys of a soul longing to live peacefully side by side with his fellow kindred spirits. I hope that one day you will know how proud I am of the colors of red, white, and blue, flying in a landscape of beauty, surrounded by a pageantry of breathtaking sunsets, a precursor to the awakening of another radiant sunrise. I hope that one day I can share not only the immaculate pageantry of the military parades of memories, but the wounds inflicted on both sides, with some paying a heavy price, either for being in the wrong place or in having a distinct color, assets, or viewpoints from my own.
Walking point, nerves tremble about the blast. Confront and destroy the hated other at last. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
I hope I will always remember the sacrifice of the indigenous people, the Native Americans, the Caribs and Arawaks, the Aboriginal people, the richness of the Incas and Aztecs, the Maoris, who all contributed to my enhanced lifestyle. My African ancestry and my American founding fathers, who carved scrolls of equality, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all. I hope that one day I can sing from sea to shining sea, and out of many, one people. In a much larger sense, of course, for this is what we are, all sparks of the eternal, doing a bit as best we can, carving our own path on this wayfaring stream of life's currents, reminiscent of the awakening of dawn's early sunrise.
As loved ones stand close and the preacher recites passage to passage, your exit rights. Stolen life, shattered trust, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Yet we must celebrate, come together to give thanks and praise for diversity, for courage, fortitude and endurance, for the spirit of resilience, of sacrifice for a more harmonious union, to see a larger vision of a global humanity of love, even as we remember the cost of sacrifices in war. Let us build as best we can to celebrate, for it is good to have heroes, a Washington, Jefferson, Maya Angelou, Harriet Tubman, indeed our ancestors themselves, pioneers who carved the path before us with the seeds of exemplary ideals of sacrifice and unbounded love.
Sent abroad with soldiers by the score, house to house firefights, pawns for this government's war, stolen life, shattered trust.
The beloved is merciful, and her compassion reigns upon us even in the invisible. On this Memorial Day, as we commemorate those who died in struggle, let us look forward to the vision of tomorrow's glorious dawn of love and the coming of a oneness kingdom here on earth as there is in paradise. May the blue light of infinity bless us. May the red strands of the immortal grant us peace.
Stolen life, shattered trust, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Thank you. This has been the voices of D. Allen and Lantern Carrier.
OMG. Now I know how Elemental feels when, you know, when he sees, you know, everyone as I'm removing the spotlights here. This was, I'm out of word. This was one of the, you know, I know I shouldn't say that, but this was one of the most amazing, most powerful collaborations we have. Everyone, please unmute yourself. Give it up for these two.
That was awesome.
Yeah, tremendous collab. Yeah.
You each carried your own counterpoint and made a point, and together what it said is exactly what Ron mentioned.
Yeah, man, that was great. That was great. That was great.
Hail to the heroes. Hail to you too.
Fantastic.
Super. I don't even want to mute everyone. It's like, damn, you guys are. This was so powerful. Thank you so much for collaborating on that and preparing, and then bringing us this collaboration, you know, today on this Memorial Day. And we also have to remember that, you know, I don't know where else Memorial Day is celebrated. I know it's one of those unique holidays in the United States, and Lantern is from the United Kingdom. And, you know, like as someone else mentioned here, there are similar Remembrance Day in Canada on other times of the year. But, you know, obviously the sentiment is the same throughout the globe. We heard it over and over again throughout so many of the performances here. Thank you so much, Lantern. Indeed, this was truly amazing. I don't know if anyone has ever hashtagged Monday our collab Monday, because I know we have these many hashtags for Mondays and Thursdays online open mics, but I am so glad we have to continue to have collaborations each Monday. Everyone here, please collaborate with each other. You saw what powerful, bringing together this can do and what powerful lines we can hear. Thank you again, you two guys. That was amazing. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, Lantern. In the chat, I'm going to put what I had promised, all the links to our social media, the New Regan website, the ticket site, the merchandise site. So again, since I didn't put up the slides, everything that I said, you can find all of our upcoming programs on our social media. Keep following us and you will never miss out on any of our online or on-site events at the New Regan Poets Cafe. All right, coming up next is another one international performer, which I had the pleasure of working with him in a workshop last week at the New Regan Poets Cafe, which he attended online in Zoom with Paul Concasso. And I can't reveal much, but I'm going to say that we there, Elemen2al and I and Paul, we got to see a little bit different, side of Poetic, but, and equally amazing, you did hint to us that you will come here on Monday for Memorial Day. So thank you, Poetic, for zooming in from Japan, across from another ocean, since I mentioned the other ocean. Poetic, thank you for being here. Let everyone know where we may follow you. The floor is all yours.
Yeah, thank you, New York Poets, Romac Technical Thompson. See you again. Glad to see you. As you know, 2 weeks ago, G7 Hiroshima summit was held. I watched and listened the last speech of our Prime Minister. I got a so complex feeling and thought. So that's why I wanted to say it in poetry, spoken word style. So this new shit 7, Korea rhetoric. So I hope you guess my thought. Please take a watch.
We, the leaders of the G7, met at the historical juncture in Hiroshima, which together with Nagasaki offers a reminder of the unprecedented devastation and immense human suffering the people of Hiroshima and Nagasaki experienced as a result of the atomic bombings of 1945. 7. We recall the joint statement of the leaders of the 5 nuclear weapon states issued on January 3rd, 2022 on preventing nuclear war and avoiding arms races, and affirmed that a nuclear war cannot be won and must never be fought. Britain's regress. Britain's regress. Britain's regress. Britain's regress. We underscore the importance of the 77-year record of non-use of nuclear weapons. Russia's irresponsible nuclear rhetoric, undermining of arms control regimes, and stated intent to deploy nuclear weapons in Belarus are dangerous and unacceptable. Operation Nations Assemble, take! Operation Nations Assemble, take! At the same time, China is accelerating build-up of its nuclear arsenal without transparency. No meaningful dialogue poses a concern to global and regional stability. Open, free, open, open, free, open, we are resolute in our view that no nation should carry out any nuclear weapon test explosion or other nuclear explosion, condemn any threats to do so, and emphasize that bringing the comprehensive nuclear test ban treaty into force is another urgent matter. Experiments, criticality. Experiments are exceptions. We reiterate our unwavering commitment to the goal of North Korea's complete, verifiable, and irreversible abandonment of its nuclear weapons, non-existent nuclear programs, and any other weapons of mass destruction and ballistic missile programs in accordance with relevant UN Security Council resolutions. Abandon, we also never abandon. Abandon, we also never abandon. We urge Iran to cease nuclear escalations. We call Iran to fulfill its legal obligations and political commitments regarding nuclear non-proliferation without further delay. Honeymoon, you get us the honeymoon. Honeymoon, you get us the honeymoon. G7 countries which opt for nuclear power or related peaceful nuclear applications recognize that the use of nuclear energy, science, and technology contributes to providing affordable, low-carbon energy. Freedom, re-reason. Freedom, outside mind. Freedom, re-reason. Freedom, outside mind. Our security policies are based on the understanding that nuclear weapons, for as long as they exist, should serve defensive purposes, deter aggression, and prevent war and coercion. Heaven, hellish. Heaven, hellish. Heaven, hellish. Heaven, hellish. 7. Pray for peace. Thank you and love you all.
That dude's a bona fide damn genius. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Poet Talk.
Oh, that was great, Poet Talk.
Yeah. Beautiful work, beautiful work, beautiful work, beautiful. I love you, man.
Because they are so,
Yeah, that was
so
great, bro.
Thank you so much.
No
Yeah, that was
censorship. We need to hear them.
Fantastic.
For real. I'm telling you. Poet Talk is the only cat that I know who brings new shit with a video accompaniment. I'm telling you, he continues to do it, poem after poem. And then he has a nerve to be dope with the production of it. Like, come on, Poet Talk. Man, I always look forward to hearing your work, Poet Talk, because I know it's going to be some brand new shit. It's going to be politically on point, right? I love that. Listen, heaven, hellish, right? No nation should carry out nuclear testing because, like CC said, when you test it, you're actually using it. But let's not forget, when you have those things, when you have weapons of mass destruction, right? You have nuclear and ballistic capabilities, you're not opening up a car wash. Just saying, right? Plus, you don't gather those things to put them in a museum and say, wow, look what I eat, look what I have. Just saying. All right, before we move on, real quick, everyone unmute yourself. Give it up for Ron Mark Thompson.
Yeah, Ron.
RMT, go Ron.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
This dude, listen, y'all. This dude, this dude really cares about our community. He does so many things behind the scenes for all of us to make sure that this is continuously the hypest night of the week. Thank you, Ron. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, I love when this poet comes through. She is so dedicated and committed to what she does, even when she has one-word poems. They're exciting. Trust and believe. The one and only Mary Lee Johnson is in the building, y'all. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Mary Lee. It's always great to see you. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Elemental. Some people have heard the piece I'm going to do next, but maybe a couple people haven't, so I'm going to do it. So relaxing to take the subway. Let someone else do the driving. Just going to write a bit. Oh my God. Over here we have phones playing. Who'll take phones playing? It's a game. It's a Hulu clip. We have one. Who'll take two? We have two. And over here a third. It's music without earbuds. We'll take music without earbuds. No earphones. No sound stoppage at all. People going once, going twice. Wait, there's another entry. We have entertainers singing off key to their guitars, singing off key, off key, off key. And now we have a music speaker cranked up and pole dancing hip hoppers. Who'll take hip hoppers? Hip hoppers. Oh, and now they're spinning on their heads on the floor. Hip hoppers. And now a subway delay, everyone. A subway delay. Who'll take a subway delay. And now a transfer to another train. Who knows which one? Transfer, who'll take a transfer. Person in the Gap hoodie by the back door bidding 25. Who'll bid 30? 30 over here from someone flouncing in a huge peacock hat. 35 from a person wearing plaid, so out of date. Oh, wait, folks, there's a subway announcement. Sounds urgent, but no one can understand. Might want to take that transfer just in case, and Peacock bids 40. Now adding to the bidding, Peace and Quiet. Who'll bid 45? 45 for Peace and Quiet from a pissed-looking writer with notebook. 50 from Peacock, 55 from Plaid, 60 from Pissed, 65 Plaid, 70 Pissed, 75 Plaid. Pissed writer has now bid 200. Anyone 205? Going once, going twice. Peace and Quiet sold for 200 to Pissed writer. And now there's a man spreading his legs, hogging the seat space. Man spread, who'll bid? Hey, Pissed, where are you going? You just won the bidding for Peace and Quiet. Well, now that's an impolite gesture. Who'll bid 25 for impolite gesture? 25. Thank you.
I don't know where that came from, but that was amazing. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mary Lee Johnson.
I love that poem, Mary Lee, and thank you so much for sharing it again.
I hear it. I love it more.
Loving it. Thank you.
Love it.
Wonderful. Oh yeah.
Spectacular delivery.
Okay. Listen, and if you're not familiar with Mary Lee's work, you'll understand why we're just like buzzing about what she just did, right? Listen, I don't know if you went to school for that, but that came off too natural, Mary Lee. Like you are a natural auctioneer. Like between the peacock and the pissed rider. Listen, I really dig how you just got all the way in there on that. No sound stopping at all. No sound stoppage at all. Singing off key, right? It's a subway delay. Like, just I love when we turn up. And this is what it looks like when poets turn up. Thank you, Mary Lee, for being a valued mainstay of our community. All right, y'all. Coming up next, this gentleman from the future, by the way, coming from the future and across the pond, the one and only Finn Hall is in the building. Unmute yourself. It is great to see you, sir. Let the folks know where they can find you. Take it away. No worries.
There you go. Thank you. Click, man. Greetings from the future. Hi there. Right. I had a couple I've lined up for tonight, but inspired by Paul's skiff earlier on. I've actually written this one while I was sitting here. I got to do it, then I got to do what I was going to do. And this is called Bleed Out. Enough already. Death is business. Governments send the young to bleed out so the rich barons can increase their bank accounts. And no amount of spilled guts in foreign land can account for empty families destroyed in the name of ego that pretend it is for freedom. The freedom to ban books, but not guns and business, you see. They want to free you and me from what we do not know, but they tell you so, so it must be true. As you may lose another sister or brother as the coffers expand with the blood on the land. I served, I know the futility of war. There is no gender in war, just wasted lives. This one is called I will slice my personality up into pieces and share it around. Then you can each get a bit of what you expect me to be, because few really know the real me. It's not a disguise I wear, but there is only so much I can share, as the whole is made up of many parts, gleaned from the experience of years, and tears and fears and countless disappointments collected along the way. Expectations I have none, but not with negativity, as it's good to be surprised. And in reverse, the worst you thought of me was only what your blinkered eyes did see. I am not here to please, appease, or even agree, unless those things are fine with me. And supposing they are, I seek not to boast nor toast my successes, just the facts that I can move along, creating and staying on my track, not looking back nostalgically, just treasuring the memory. And sometimes I say things untoward, but you know, it's only my thoughts bursting out quietly without a shout. Not meaning to upset or get you offended in any which way. And if you do, hey, my apologetic words are in your ears. And that's your share of how you think I am. All is true as much as nothing is truth. An older man, still in his youth. And allow me to finish off this quick other one, slightly older one, and it's called, similar vein, but it's called Skin. Skin. You see, just the skin. Not the one who lives within. You see the spots and scars, wrinkles, cuts, freckles, and hair without an idea who exists in there. When you only look with your peripheral vision, not knowing what the septuagenarian outer shell disguises, and I hope you don't mind surprises. You just don't know. I am a happy loner in the crowd. You just don't see. I have one tattoo, that's all, a taint upon my well-worn shell. You think? I could probably walk you under the table if it's too hilly, I'm less able, but, and this is a big but. Don't jump to any conclusions. The smooth-faced skin, well, it's just an illusion. I've earned the tears and bumps and gashes that creeping, crawling time surpasses. It only tells you what you see. I keep within the real me. I'm deaf, a bit blind, but I don't mind. My glasses help me read a book. And like me, you may discover the old adage, don't judge a book by its cover. Hardcover, soft cover, I can be both, inside, bubbling up, troubling up, boiling still. No, I'm fine in this skin. In this skin, neither thick nor thin, a human being lives therein. Surface-wise, I may look fine, and underneath the muscle mass, the nerves entwine, twisting, coiling, angst and pain, inside, outside. Not the same. Not the same. You just don't know. Yeah, and that's all for me now. Thank you.
Live from the future. Give it up for Finn Hall.
Wonderful, Finn. Really loved it.
Great as always.
Oh, fantastic. Really wonderful.
I truly, truly appreciate when poets come into rooms and allow the energy to inspire them. His first poem, he said he wrote in here. Shout out to the new shit. Always just listen. That is the most inspiring thing to me, is when someone can come and just bring it and feel it and let it rip like that, right? There is no gender in war, just wasted lives. That's going to sit with me for a while. Thank you, Finn Hall, live from the future, for bringing all of your incredible artistry. We look forward to always hearing your work. Thank you. All right, coming up next, make sure you stand at the position of attention when you salute this cat. The one and only Mr. Speaker is in the building. Unmute yourself, bro. Let the folks know where they can find you online. Shout out to Graybeard. Shout out 757. You know what it is. Take it away, bro.
Good evening. Let's go. New shit, like you said, right? New shit. Diminished. On behalf of the President of the United States, we appreciate you allowing your loved one to die for freedom. I apologize that they were under-resourced, partially trained, and poorly equipped. I present this flag shaped like a heart to symbolize where we broke your family. You get a gold star, as well as stories to tell in order to compel others to fight for freedom. Sometimes, many times, oftentimes, when I tell a family their loved one is not coming home, I lie a little. Every time I lose someone in combat, I die a little. Dear Mr. Smith, your wife gave her life for freedom, but what is heard is blah, 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 and they are never coming home. Dear Mrs. Johnson, I regret to inform you that I lost your son in war. Dear Mrs. Jones, your son was lost in battle. I do not want to discourage anyone from service, but when I am reminded of the cost of freedom, I cry a little. If someone does not return from a mission, I wonder why a lot. What did I do wrong? Did I say the right things? What else could I have done? Look at my living human remains. War has made me a slave to the grave. Struggling to find reasons to live, I have nothing else to give. From PTSD, I cannot hide. Just now, another veteran has died. Weapon of choice, suicide. This veteran is survived by pain, grief, hopelessness, and depression. This is sad. Makes me want to gag. This family is broken, and all I have to give them is this fucking flag. Service personnel dodge bullets in war and peace. War is an unleashed beast that loves to feast. It is clear that war makes the mind brittle. PTSD makes you committal. A one-way ticket to a mental hospital because every time I lose someone, I fucking die a little. Can you even see the human remains of me? On behalf of the President of the United States, the United States military, and a grateful nation, please accept this flag as a symbol of our appreciation for your loved ones, honorable and faithful service. In peace.
A whole lot going on right there, y'all. I know. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mr. Speaker.
Wonderful, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker.
Man.
That's true and powerful word. Thank you.
Oh,
Powerful.
heaven must feel.
Yeah.
That was powerful.
You've had to
Thank
say
you
that
again,
to quite a
Mr.
few, I think.
Speaker.
Yeah, bro.
Pray for peace. Pray.
That was
Thank you,
powerful,
Mr.
brother. Loved it.
Heavy.
Thank you.
Big hug to you.
Heavy. Look, heavy, man. And he came with the new shit on him, right? Said they in trying to compel others to fight for freedom, to die for freedom. War has made me a slave to the grave. Mr. Speaker, what you do is always on point because he truly has, like the name of his book, the heart of a military leader. So make sure you are plugging in with Mr. Speaker. But I saw something, and I'm sure that y'all saw it as well. One of the members of our community was signing while Mr. Speaker was reading, right? And I had the very quick notion to put them on the screen together, but I wasn't sure how comfortable you are, Undetermined Cause, but I saw you and I caught some of it. So you may see it later on IG. But I want you to know that we appreciate you for that. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to share that energy with us to translate those words for the people. For the people, thank you for that. It's the greatest community in the world, and we continue to show it. Thank you, Undetermined Cause. All right, let's keep it going, y'all. Coming up next, this poet, where are they? I see her. I don't know whether they are coming from the car or the house this evening, but hopefully we can get this connection thing worked out, all right? Because listen, anytime we get a chance to hear Kate, we know it's going to be on point. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you. Yep, that means you. Let the folks know where they can find you. We're calling. We're calling. Yep, we're calling, and we're gonna keep knocking. Unless you're, we can move on and we can come back. Kate, it's totally cool. It is totally cool. Of course. All right, we'll keep it pushing, and we'll come back on a 360. All right, coming up next. Oh, listen, and I'm gonna respect it, and we're gonna get down like this. This gentleman has a new manuscript emotional defibrillator. Make sure you are plugging in. The one and only Captain Flow is here, y'all. Daniel Fernandez in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, man. Always great to see you. Please take it away. Look, that's twice, huh? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Listen, we gonna keep swinging the bus around. I got no problem with it, right? Swinging it like an old 74 deuce in a quarter. We'll keep swinging it around, all right? So we'll keep it pushing to Mr. Time to Arrive himself. This gentleman's open mic continues to hold space for poets of every style. Really, I totally dig when this dude comes through because all his poetry is always so very real. The one and only Dane is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Dane. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's always, today's a very special day in a lot of ways. I have two pieces, and I'm going to ask in advance for forgiveness for my poor Japanese that's coming later. Someplace in Alaska, the plane overshot the runway, crashed, burned. Now I will never know. It's a journey, becoming an expert on the secret shape of holes. I carry this from the day in the dark in a bare wood room at the back of the house on Collins Street. The sun was streaming bright, beating down bright on bare dirt backyard. The front yard was surrounded by a small grove of black oak trees. In springtime, the fuzzy yellow asp rained down from the branches high, stinging near the creek where we caught crawdads. Blinking, trying to make sense of the words. What would it mean? What does it mean? Your daddy died in a plane crash. I thought you should know. My heart is crying. Watashi no kokoro wa naite imasu. Today on Hiroshima Day, I'm inconsolable. I look everywhere. Anata wa doko o mite mo. Mom, she is gone. Naka unata. I will not find her. She is not in anything. She is everywhere now. Cannot understand the language you speak. What do you mean? What you need? Just like a cat, not even a Cheshire. You, Red Queen, your answers, checkmate, ancestors chase you through the prop of plain, Akaya Niji. This is a red rainbow, splashed on cloudy sky. Komori Zora. I call, you cannot come. You are everywhere and everything in me. Moshi wakare mas wake moshi wakare masenga. At the top or the bottom, the well, same shadow, looking at the question left on your lips. Sepun, asking for a kiss. Still, sit still and quiet. This rehearsal bliss, selfishness, broken wish reflected. Sepun, Gare wa eta, has come to this. This day, that day is this day. That day is this day, today, every day. Katian life. What is Katian life? 453 million years ago? Last week? Yesterday? What is Katidian life? What is an antonym for Katidian? 44 just learned it today, everyday life, routine, how to use Coxidian in a sentence, how to use Katidian in a sentence. Looks like, what does Katidian mean in art? It's a fancy way of saying Hosho, Hoshi, Hoshi, Ki Isai, Hosha, Yakaye Sa, spore forming, Chono Inu, intestinal dog, the little things. Every day is death day. Cree the core, fever, fatal flaw, Taurus lit by Hecate, the fleas within the animal cell. How often does this occur? Mayanichi, Jo En Su Dekina Sakebe Hanabe. My heart is crying. Thank you.
Man, no, this is what it sounds like when poems cry. Unmute yourself, give it up for Dane E.
Dan, thank you.
Amazing
Your
work.
Japanese is great.
And thank you so much.
That was great.
Your
It's wonderful.
Japanese,
Makes me want to cry.
your Japanese is great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. I got your feeling. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. This is why I continue to say it's the greatest community in the world. He apologized from the onset. We wouldn't have known, but our resident expert, the one and only Poet Talk, said, oh no, I got it. I felt what you said. Man, this is what it's about. This is what it has always been about. Writing the things that are meaningful in order for people to feel them. Thank you for putting in the work, Dane. Thank you. All right, y'all, coming up next. I saw them. All right. This poet is back in the building, ready to get down. I see her on her feet, and listen, I love it, so we about to get it. The one and only Kite is in the building. Come on, Kite. You know what time it is. Give it to us.
Hey, can we do a quick lag check? Am I lagging? Cool. Okay. So I'm going to hop straight to it. My Instagram is my name on here. It's Kite _ the poetic cat with a K. So I don't have anything that's actually on theme for Memorial Day exactly. But I do have a poem about PTSD that I wrote years ago when I was still suffering heavily from PTSD, which this is why it's very good to track your work and write things like when you feel it in the moment, like release those emotions, because I can't entirely relate with all of this anymore. So I feel like it's also a good thing for me to read because you can see, like, anyone who knows some of the stuff that I write about now, you would see what I mean once I start reading this. I'm here, but I'm not really here. I'm scared to death about another attack this year. The thing about post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, is that you cannot control the overwhelming fear that accompanies thoughts of memories triggered by past events. I am terrified, and I cannot explain why, except that this has happened before. It doesn't matter where I am right now. It doesn't matter if you are convinced that I am unstable or not. All that matters in the moment is that the perceived threat doesn't happen again. And I will fight to the end to make sure I survive, even if only just for the night. I'm constantly terrified that my past will come back to haunt my reality, disrupting it with chaos and destruction. It's incredibly difficult to separate facts from fiction. And what happened still happened. But will it happen again? Constantly flinching when someone nearby just raises their hand because I'm unsure if they'll inflict pain in their current stance. I can't help but cringe and be in indescribable fear when someone simply raises their voice at or around me. I can't control my reactions to past traumas and how it affects my life. I don't know how to not be scared. I look around for guidance and am greeted with a hand outstretched, offering me the help I so desperately need, yet I just can't quite reach. PTSD haunts me, enclosing my mind inside of the paranoia that I will never be okay again. I'll never be able to fully trust that a hand won't be raised in anticipation to wield against my face. I meet someone who has a gentle hand, who shows me time and time again that he won't do harm. Yet the paranoia never goes away. The thing with PTSD is that it always remains instilled in our brains, waiting for the day where it will betray all of your senses, all of the safety and security inside of your mind. It's my poem.
That is the work, y'all.
Now the thing
Give
is, though,
it up for Katay.
you
Great job,
can get
Katay.
past it, though.
Yeah,
You can.
Katay.
Oh, that was powerful.
Yes. Yes, yes, that is the work. That is the work, right? That is what the therapy sessions are for. That is what the journaling is for. That is what the sharing your poetry is all about. It's about getting through those spaces. It's about working through those issues so that trauma does not control you, right? Because you are in control. Those emotions do not control you. It is so magnificent for you to come through and share such a personal piece, right? PTSD is a very, very difficult thing. Trust and believe, coming from someone who deals with it. It's not easy. It's not easy. But this is the work that gets you through each and every day. Sometimes all you can do is just make it through the night. And once you wake up in the morning, call one of these people in our community and they'll remind you why you're important. Thank you for sharing that with us. All right, y'all. We are down to our final 6. Let's get to it. Coming up next, there he is. Captain Flo has came back into the building. The one and only Daniel Fernandez is here, y'all. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, man. You know what it is. Take it away.
Hello. I just put all my information in the chat. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Reddit. Anyways, and here on Mondays and Thursdays. So the poem I have is not actually in theme, but it was one of those that had to be written in a moment, just like Caddy said. So mine is called I Can't Afford My Own Book. And this is how it goes. I can't afford my own book. What a fucking embarrassment that is. What a legacy to leave behind for my future kids, jumping into problems oblivious to the risk and the borderline of morality, which becomes a conflict. My goal was to publish and fulfill my dream. Technically, I did, which boosted my self-esteem. I felt good as anyone would, ignoring what came in between. Money, which I assume would multiply the moment I redeem. Months flew by and the days grew longer. I took a breath of knowledge as if I'm jumping in water. water. I overdosed on the idea of being an author. I lost myself searching for methods to avoid hunger. I don't want to repeat myself, but that's what history does. We change our plans because we feel that we must, to avoid a midlife crisis so that living isn't corrupt. Fighting ourselves in the process, which is something else that needs to adjust. Using Amazon to sell your book is great, don't get me wrong. Giving access to billions of people searching for where they belong. Praying sales come in and I can excite my mom. But no, it took 2 months of waiting and my head became a bomb. That's not all because Amazon gets a cut. Of course they do, which kind of sucks. 40% in fact. It had me thinking, what the fuck? It left me speechless, honestly, with the hole in my gut. So a new plan began to formulate. Buy the copies myself and distribute them my way. Invest the money back so that it doesn't go to waste. The only issue is that the bills began to weigh. Sadly, at this point, I can't afford my own book. First time I thought about it, I laughed and took a pull. Let my demons eat at me like a pair of wolves at an all-time low, worse than those in the hood. Reflecting on myself, hating where I was, losing everything I touched like drugs, stealing optimism like a professional thug, forcing myself to think I'm okay because of love. A paycheck that vanishes. Been late before, so my credit took the damages. I tried to enjoy the moment like a bite from a sandwich, dissolving in debt, losing a battle to savages, throwing me around like some packages, thinking it's good enough like how my Spanish is, speaking in a way where I can manage it, and yet I'm exposed like a wound before the bandage. Fuck, I have to calm down. My brain is spinning like a ceiling fan, a jigsaw puzzle of my life as I chase a grand, diving head first, thinking I will understand. I shot myself in the foot and was covered with sand. Can't sleep, trying to find different streams of income. I did almost everything and my progress is close to none. It kills me to know I can't be happy because of low funds. Starve a day or two because I can't afford lunch. Gas is low and rent is late. No longer in that apartment, so that part of stress was put away. I know I'm not perfect. No one is anyways. I can go on and on till the end of days. I can't afford my own book. That's fucking sad. I had to write it down because it made me laugh. I know I said that already in the first half. A gyrate of regret as the dread circles back. Eventually it'll pay off. I'm just hoping soon. I can't take the mental baggage that grew into a typhoon. Failing at living a life is just something I'm not immune to. So let's see what the future holds as I float on this emotional lagoon. Thank you.
Come through, Emotional Lagoon. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Daniel Fernandez.
Yes.
Yeah,
Daniel.
Yes.
That's a nice flow.
Captain Slow.
You know, having some time off has really helped your writing. Good job.
Wonderful,
I
Daniel.
just man, look.
Look, this is the struggle of an artist, right? And we've seen it so many times, whether it's in music or art or poetry, we are alienated from our work, right? Because the bourgeoisie has the ability to take 40% and get away with it. And what are we gonna say? I guess I'll be happy with 60. Either that or print them out yourself and sell them out of the trunk. It's just not okay, y'all. We have to do something about that. Really. Anytime that a poet is not able to get their own work, it's just not okay. It's not okay. But again, this is why we need to work harder as a collective to make sure that we don't go through these things, right? Listen, it's only a matter of time, man. The hard part's over, right? Don't want to repeat yourself like history does. Of course it does, but there's a reason that it repeats itself, right? History repeats itself. We don't learn from it. So make sure you study it hard. You're on point, man. All right, appreciate you. Coming up next, our resident Iron Chef is in the building. The one and only Generalissimo is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Generalissimo. It's always great to see you. Please take it away.
Shalom, everyone. I'll put all that stuff in the chat a little later. I have 2 poems. The first is called A Very Special May 14. Today is a postcard. As I cross the Green Metal Truss Bridge from Brunswick to Topsom, I notice how the forest green trimmed maroon brick Fort Andros Mill building looks as if it had been born by the sky. The perfect sunny day sky looks like a baby blue wall with cotton balls glued to it. Where the dam empties rapids into the mighty Androscoggin, seagulls are gliding over its current as if they are posing for a non-existent photographer. The tops of every leaf on every tree I pass shimmer and glimmer in the sun as if they are taffeta on a gown worn by a movie star destined to be named best dressed after an award show, while they cast shadows upon the soft shag carpeting swaths of green grass where their trees reside. This state of Maine mid-May day is a temperate 73 degrees with an ever so slight breeze that brushes across my cheeks as if I were being kissed by an angel. I were being kissed by an angel, or being kissed by an angel, being kissed by an angel. And whilst driving into the Target parking lot for my overpriced doctor-prescribed chemical drugs, I believe when I exit my car, the asphalt will transform into a field of dandelions in full fluff, orange jewelweed and Queen Anne's lace, because I refuse to allow today to cease being a postcard. Thank you. This next piece I want to dedicate to my fellow Bureau Bards of the Bardo, Mr. Dane Ince and Michael Sindler, who are respectively the Beat Poet Laureate of California and the Beat Poet Laureate of Colorado. And Michael was just named Beat Poet Laureate of Colorado last week. So this is called Blame the Sun for the Rain. This rain banging on my window pane is messing with my brain, is making me feel something other than sane, or maybe not so plain. I feel like whooping, like a whooping pain. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Or maybe chewing gum on a choo-choo train traveling from the Cali coast to the coast of Maine. This rain, this early May, state of Maine rain, drip, drip, dripping, drop, drop, dropping, flipping and flopping like flip-flops, flipping, flopping all over the place, taunting cucumbers and tomatoes to rise from the ground so we can make icy cold gazpacho on sweltering hot, sunny July and August days, while thinking maybe we could use a little more rain that might drive us insane. But this rain is only water, pieces of clouds falling from the sky, pitter-pattering against spinning rooster weather vanes, pounding on roofs, clang, 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 making us feel like we need to get out of the house, but we don't want to drive in it. But then again, it makes us hungry, and no one wants to cook on a rainy day, so it teases us by becoming heavier, throwing lightning in the air, whips around a little wind, screams with thunder, but it decides to not stay, to move and make its way, to taunt someone else in some other place, only after the sun pays what the rain charges the sun when it needs to take itself a break. Gracias, everyone.
Wow. I told y'all I told y'all he was going to do it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Generalissimo.
Thank you. So good. Thank you, Brian. Wow.
Generalissimo, that was great.
You're
Wonderful.
cooking there, I'll tell you. Thanks.
His dishes are so delectable every single Monday. Like, he doesn't miss us. Like, come on, man. Ice cold gazpacho. Come on. Like your wordplay, Generalissimo, it's always just been one of those things that I truly, truly loved about you. Just the way that you do things, right? Shout out to the Beardos of the Bardo, truly. And the beat poets of our community. Are you kidding? Are you kidding, man? Like, I love this community. Really, greatest community in the world. And it spans across the world. All right, 4 poets left. The energy is still popping, though. Appreciate all of y'all for hanging out. We're going to finish this off. Come on, let's do it. Coming up next, this gentleman, I'm telling you, is an instrument. He is an instrument and happens to play like 10 or 12 others, right? Love to hear when this cat comes through. It's always so just like roots of the tree just calling out to you, man. For real. The one and only Baba Ngoma is in the building. Great to see you. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. Please take it away.
Yeah, I hadn't really planned on reading, but since it's Memorial Day, I felt that I was kind of compelled to read these poems. It's like 2 poems. The first one is called FTA, Support Our Troops, Bring Them Home. And for y'all that don't know that, FTA means fuck the army. My lover told me that in past lives I must have been Abraxas, but the doc said it was post-traumatic stress disorder. So I medicated with mushrooms and meth, trying to figure out the mess inside my head. Now, if you can handle it, we'll take a trip inside. Put on your safety belt if you want to take this ride from the sidewalks of Virginia to Play Cruise mountainsides. It was back in '68 after the time of Tet when I crossed the burning sands of Cameron Bay, where the stench of burning shit and diesel oil permeated the air. You could tell I was a FNG that's fucking new guy by the cut of my hair, while short-time screaming eagles and first cab guys with stubble beards babble endless stories about how Tet had been, where the mighty Viet Cong overran bunker complexes and fought them hand to hand, or how the 4th Division got wiped out in the Valley of Playtrap between Cambodia and Vietnam, where the VC tied themselves in trees and those damn AK-47s had us on our hands and knees, praying there was a God in heaven, low crawling through rice paddies full of water buffalo shit, crawling underground as the tunnel rat, finding huge bunkers 50 feet of concrete overhead when we found ourselves surrounded, many wounded, many dead. Now they're up on the hillside and the shack stretched out on racks. We identified the bodies that won't be coming back. Through blood, sweat, and mayhem, we managed to survive. One day you're in the mountains, the next day in the streets, trying to become accustomed to concrete beneath your feet, trying to collect your benefits in this land of opportunity. Welcome home, soldier. You'll surely need a friend, because you only return to where the cycle began, where you joined the military because you got drafted or you couldn't find a job. The recruitment office in the ghetto said, be all that you can be. Now you're homeless and suffering back from overseas, where statistics of homeless vets add up to 300,000, where disability claims could take a few years, and while you get worse, it's easy for a soldier to die first. Lost in the system, waiting list 127,000 in New York alone, and the numbers will be mounting, coming home from Iraq and Afghanistan, plus the walking dead from the conflict in Vietnam, waiting on Section 8 and medical care, standing in line for welfare, after fighting on the front line for democracy, angry, scared, broke, divorced, depressed, hostile, resentful, suicidal, and stressed, self-medicated to relieve the stress, from the military to filthy shelters or the slums, sleeping on sidewalks, thought of as bums. In this home of the brave, this land of the free, I didn't fail my country failed me. That's from my book. I didn't come here to tap dance. This one is called Sister Soldiers. Sister soldiers, mothers, daughters, serving their time on the front line, pledge allegiance to blood-splattered banners, breed more ghosts than previous battles due to economic drafts and lying ads who tell them to be all that they can be. So they sign in blood on the dotted line, blood being the perfect symbol, surrendering to the eagle to be prey like fresh meat to a beast, emerging from their battle buddy when you realize your only friend is your gun and knife, your male compatriots with whom you stand and fight, see you as a hoe, a bitch, or a dyke, because real women ain't supposed to fight. So when you report them, you're accused of lies, and the brass tries to disguise the truth like it's your fault. So you're less afraid of mortar rounds than the fellows you eat with each day, and you stay strapped just to go to the latrine or to pray. They say you're just eye candy, replacing the prostitutes in Vietnam, but you're a machine gunner with 2 Purple Hearts on a second tour in a combat zone, being abused and disrespected a long way from home. Now, I'm sure you want to know why this story is being told by a man. The answer is simple, because I care and I can. In today's U.S. Army, 30% of women have been raped, 71% physically assaulted, and 90% sexually harassed. And that's me for tonight.
Damn, he said, because I care and I can. Unmute yourself, give it up for Ngoma.
That's wonderful
Thank
work.
you.
And Goma.
Wow.
That was
Yeah.
powerful.
Unbelievably powerful poetry.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
It is so powerful to me that poets come through and they say, you know what, I have to get this out, right? That is the beauty and power of poetry, right? It doesn't even let you sit on it, right? It comes bursting out of your lungs, right? Like them one-on-one screaming eagles, man. Yeah. First calf. Yeah. I know those cats are bananas. They do it. He said the VCs tied themselves in trees. Man. The only regret that I have before my pops passed away was I didn't get to truly interview him about his time in Vietnam. So I would love to do that with you, Baba and Goma. We'll talk. All right. Listen, we got 3 poets left, folks. 3 dedicated poets who are here to finish us off this evening. Coming up first, this gentleman been doing it longer than some of us have been writing poetry, and he's still doing it passionately and powerfully as ever. The one and only CC Arshagra is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, CC. Always great to see you, man. Take it away.
Oh, I love you. Love everyone here. Love all the work, the sign language, just blessings on that. Thank you for gifting us with that. This is, you've seen it before. It's my book. It's from 20 years ago. It's a rewrite. It's basically a study of free speech and open mic. CCRshagra.com. You can get it there. 40 years ago, I began writing, and I didn't know what I was going to do with my life or my mind, and I started writing children's book and children's poems, and out of that came something called John Q. Public. It was after when presidents and politicians started holding up babies when they heard a gun go off. Later on, I'm in Harvard Square. Apocalyptic Child came out of my pen because I wanted to capture these 2 little girls in Harvard Square on a June late day when the sun was setting and the light was bouncing off the wall, and they were talking about the end of the world and how the apocalypse. This is the early 90s, and they said, oh, you know, what a terrible thing, we're all going to die, but look at that sunset. And I wanted to go home and capture that. And then I wrote something just 2 days ago. I'm going to kick those 3 to give you a time span thing, and I'll try and do it as fast as possible. John Q. Public. John Q. Public, a healthy, honest man. He fought for his country even when he burned a flag. He defended his home and he respected all others. The town respected his children. The town respected their mother. One day in the town square, a young girl died by the fountain stream. John was blamed that day. He was the only one near scene. The state court cleared his name. John clearly did not do it. But who was guilty? Not a single clue. The town still blamed John. It did not matter what was true. He defended his home. He respected all others. The town ostracized his children and harassed their mother. John Q. Public, a healthy, honest man, defended his country even when he burned a flag. Apocalyptic Child was a song. It drones on. I'm going to read it because I don't want to take up too much time. Oh, apocalyptic child, your seeing is of a world ending. No generations free from the few who see clearly nothing. So there's a thread of truth that tomorrows are not guaranteed. Oh, you with old jeans in hand, a needle, some thread, and an idea embroidering. Oh, apocalyptic child, close to nature, never far from hunger's love. Home on the streets of hope, where the politics of peasants share pain together. When the world you're in unfolds, grows cold, then inhuman, the heart, raw compassion, child, the wild facing of hating people choking your vision life. Oh, apocalyptic child, beware the follow frenzy. Ask yourself what you're surrendering. What is anger now will in time be your own resource lessons of your will to your voice. I ask you here one thing I say, that I was once in your age and I still love today. Oh, apocalyptic child, if it were your creation, would you destroy what's hope. The Parenting of Life. It's a new piece. I'm playing it out on a piano. It's not there yet. I believe in the parenting of life, and no one owns a child. No one owns a woman's love. I believe this is the highest art form, and the abuse of innocence is the highest crime. I believe the only way to rise is to always fall true and never be above you. I believe forgiveness is a mirror, and you need no fist, word, or hammer to break reasons into blame. I believe belief must not fear dying, and you should never fear to ask a naked question. I believe that being wrong is a blessing, and when you still don't know the answer, the law of love is won. I believe in the parenting of life, and no one owns a child. Thank you, community. Thank you, love.
Listen, all kinds of amazing. Unmute yourself. Give it up for CCR Chakra.
CC brings it in.
Great
Nice
job,
CC.
CC.
Yes,
Wow,
CC.
those were words.
Oh my.
Yeah, okay. Listen, this is what I said, right? This cat's been doing it longer than some of us have been writing, and he's still doing it. He said he just wrote that. That's new shit, and he's still bringing the heat with it. Appreciate you, CC, for bringing it to us and sharing it with us. It's hot. I'm looking forward to hearing it when you work it out on the piano. Make sure you bring that to us too. Thursday. Bring it to us. All right. Final two on the list, y'all. We're almost there. Coming up next, this resident wordsmith is about to do it to y'all. Listen, I'm telling you, he studies with some of the best. The one and only Lamar Mitchell is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, man. Always great to see you. Take it away.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, so you can find me on Facebook at Khalifa Mitchell. I put it in the box, the letter. My poem is called Fidel Castrato, Heterosexuality is the Devil. Trigger warnings, graphic violence, and transgressive thought, anger distilled into radical light. The price of silence can be your life. The price of noise can be your life. This is not a choose your adventure book, nor is it the King James Bible. This is a rusty hook digging into your scrotum and begging you cough up that reparations paycheck. My sex is plastic. My sex is rational as bayonet cuddles with bayonet. These poems are the words you don't see, the words you feel, but are blurred by externalized plasma balls. Since your catechism is responsible for the deaths of trans men and trans girls, I call your book Red Rum while the male pattern falls. I behead Amerigo Vespucci and use his skull as a marketing tool to fund my sister's bottom surgery. I surf the dark web, hacking the Fox News and flood their telecast with gay sex and Black August urgency. I turn all crosses upside down and teach their kids that God is an alien in the sky and remove all academics teaching the process of genocide, quote the parakeet as it sings the song of the caged bride in a pigsty. When I practice guided meditation, I visualize 1,000 burning colonizers. My toilet is a space for subtle oceanography and a surfboard forum for water strutters. Attach the leash to the prophet who said all homos will die in hell, drag him through the streets, whiplashed by bears and leather stud knights and all his lies impelled. Fuck the nuclear family. I split its atom, then just to nuke on white supremacy's architecture, take every Nazi's head off and laugh as they bleed their godless nectar, forming a river of white platelets deviating into a radioactive sewer system where all laws are passed and all wires beam through, getting high off crucifixions. New religion hung the jury, now we got a mistrial. The gavel is a mummified scrotum and every truth speaker's sentence is exile. Or cancel culture flexing its iron fist to silence the bitch. Every curse word is a system of demeaning the sacred feminine, rising over dick. All out of the phase will model the slaves of hetero aberrancy. Your manhood is my vandal's canvas, and I'm the heretic Bob Ross of straight man abuse therapy. And surround the hoax with the, oh, I'm sorry. I may talk slick like your masculinity. I'm just regurgitating the poison you forced down my throat, and surround the hoax with 100,000 hopes of drag kings, dwinks, queens, mink coats, hounds and goats. Round up the boats. It's time for Noah's Ark with pre-antebellum savage animals. Staff your zoo gallery with images from police body cams from Planet Cannibal. The baddest radicals on the block. Sachet, whack, vogue, and twerk. Huddling under the hot black villas. Oldest professionals on black Oakland turf. May I kiss the budding raspberries without thorns on my lip. May I guzzle chocolate milk from a drag queen's tits. Nuke the empire of penis with the softest visions of Sappho and Queen Hatshepsut. We're all becoming more vulnerable and kinder as the earth tilts in the death dust. Fresh lust in a fresh tux. It's a chick with the swagger of a croupier. Mustache girl tucking in her dick, kissing her queen wrapped up in lingerie. I put the head of capitalism on a stick just to rake in the dollars, while the eagle clutches Castaneta's wand, evergreen wavelengths, turning snakes into scholars. Thank you.
Turning snakes into scholars. Oh, shit. Oh, mute yourself. Give it up for Lamar Mitchell.
Wonderful work,
Lamar,
Lamar, as
yeah.
always.
Capitalism's head on a stick. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. He turned it into a rake. You heard that too.
Powerful,
Huh?
Lamar. Some great lines in there.
Great work.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
For real. Listen, this, like I said, this is why we hang out all night, y'all. Way past our bedtime. Thankfully, we still within our curfew. Who ain't past our bedtime? Oh my goodness. That's that. I can't say cough up the reparations paycheck, right? Call your book Red Rum, right? Come on. And listen, I don't know why we haven't done that, right? Remove all the academics that teach genocide, right? Come on. They're pre-antebellum savage animals. Yeah, they getting high off crucifixion. God, that's hot. That's hot. Appreciate you, Lamar. Make sure you are plugging in with Lamar Mitchell. Mainstay. All right, y'all. We have reached the closer of the evening. And his name is He Who Always Has Such Beautiful Songs to Sing. And I'm looking forward to whenever he chooses to bring it. The one and only Joski C is here to close us out this evening, y'all. Unmute yourself, Joski. It's always great to see you, man. Please take it away.
Oh, hey, Elemental. I'm happy to be here. So I have two poems, and this first is called, or used to be called, Memorial Day. As flares leap, night retreats to shadow. Wisps of smoke hover and glide, ethereal remnants of a verdant land. Perhaps they are evicted souls searching for an explanation. Our children waken to the acrid smell, attach arms like prosthetic limbs, then gently step between the vines. Told who to blame, aim for the heart. Children wearing uniforms colored different than ours. Kids clothed in country dress. Adolescents in t-shirts and pants, indicted by age, targeted by suspicion. Children's play kicks up the dust. A translucent veil billows, then folds, revealing ancient rituals. Beneath overhanging thatch, the watching of mothers as babies suckle breasts. A white crane lifts its gentle wings as if to embrace, takes flight from this village where someone was nice to children wearing uniforms, colored different than ours. This all took place in their backyard, where our children trespassed, carrying guns. Better to shoot than be shot upon was the modus operandi, the instruction, the sin we taught our children. And this next piece is called Remains of Angels. Ribbons of light 9 children in flight, wings stretched toward horizons. All at once, 9 children bounce on ground unprepared to receive them. Wings torn by foreign arms, 9 angels falling down. Their bird bones scratch the rough earth's skin, collapse and fold in unnatural poses. Remains of angels on a field, lips of shale, pupils black holes, chests and bellies still as stones, ribbons of light extinguished.
I told y'all, man. I told y'all. This is what he does, whether he has his guitar or not. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Joski C.
Joski, what a way to close the night. Wow.
You get better and
Taking
better.
it home with the
Thank you.
word. I heard every note, Joski.
Yeah, so damn good.
Yeah, another instrument. Oh yeah, absolutely. Another instrument hanging out in our community, always has the perfect lighting, the perfect sound. Joski C is always just so on money. Thank you so much for closing us out this evening, Joski, for hanging out throughout the entire evening, for being involved, right? For bringing your energy. Listen, I don't even know if y'all knew that Joski was the closer, but Joski's been here from the beginning, giving love and emotion and energy to every single other poet in the room. That's what I love about our community. Thank you, Joski, for being so dedicated, right? And listen, and then in the poem, he goes, children wearing uniforms different from ours, right? From my understanding, that is where the term infantry came from. Child soldiers, right? This isn't new, right? This is just another iteration of it. And it's our job to make sure that the world knows what's going on, because those politicians are going to continue to lie to them. That's why they have us. Thank y'all for hanging out with us this entire night. For every single poet who touched the mic this evening, and for those who were not able to come through, all your energy is completely and totally felt. We thank you so very much for hanging out with us this evening. Listen, make sure you are plugging in with all the things the cafe has going on. Make sure you are following the squad. It's Ray James, Paul Conqueso, the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, Ron Mark Thompson. Listen, you can find me. It's so many places, so many things going on. I will see some of you very, very soon. More to come. Again, thank you so much for being here this evening. I love all of y'all. We'll end the night like this. Until we meet again, may this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agarin. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been a pleasure spending Monday night with y'all. Until we meet again next week, y'all. Peace. Blessings.